Hi Pisces, how you doing? I hope you had a lovely week. This is going to be an Astroflower reading from the 13th through to the 20th of June. Have you been feeling the energy? Did you go over on Somatic TV to see the energy update last week? You would know if you did that we are going into a point where we can, in the lull, we can actually redirect things to change our future reality. And this tying into Saturn that goes into Aquarius. It went into Aquarius last week on the 7th of June. And we'll be coming out of Aquarius on the 23rd of October. Now that ties into the solar eclipses that went in during Taurus and is coming out in October in Scorpio. That is for the solar eclipse and for the lunar eclipse, which we did do on this channel here. You may want to have to go and have a look at that. And this seems to be, the message was basically, the human race needs to have a good hard look at ourselves. And that's on a collective level. But doing it on a collective level, is also on a individual level. So how do we do that within our life? It depends on obviously in which each one of us are living, but the way we approach it can be done and use the best of our resources, our elements that we're inside us, that make up us individually as individual signs. If you want to see your elements, you'll find that in the links in the description below, and you'll find a lot more about the Astroflower as well in the links below. So if you're part of the Astroflower family already, lovely to have you back with us. And if you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very simple. My dog's just sneezing. You all right, Cody? Yeah, good lad. So if you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very simple. All you need to do is subscribe and click that bell to become part of the family. And it would be lovely to have you here. So let's just quickly get into what's going on here. You've got the Astroflower here. You've got the relationship side, and this is your money side. This is the energy that's running through you, and this is the karmic path. So straight off the bat, last week you had the Ace of Pentacles in this position here, and you had the Death and Rebirth here, and the Page of Wands, I believe, in that position there. Now you've got the Ace of Wands, and you've got the Fool. It's now the time to take a leap of faith. It is that start of that journey, which we were talking about last week. How do you want to put this together, Pisces? Maybe it's this week now. It's the time to take that leap of faith. And the overall energy here, if you're just reading straight off the cards, is sort of saying, with that Ace of Pentacles last week, you've now got the Page of Cups. So it's saying the possibilities are there to actually create miracles in your life. So let's just see what the message is. Let's just see what the overall energy is coming through on the reading. Wow, it's really strong up the top. It's really defined and you know, this is how it goes. This is how it doesn't go. It's really defined like the Great Wall of China. It's like this week here is trying to encourage with the interaction with the outside world is like, you should know where you're at. You should know what you want. You should know what you don't want. And you should imply that in your life. So that's the overall energy. It'd be interesting to see how it's sort of like, oh, that's quite fiery. Well, it's quite pointed anyway. There's a real point to that. That's the overall outcome for this week, and then how it flows into the following week. We'll see how that comes out at the end of the video, but end of the reading. Let's just get into the relationship side and the money side. Let's get into the overall energies here. This is building up from within inside you. So it's something that you've set up. And it's asking you here, you've got to believe in yourself. You're real. You're tangible, you exist, we exist, everything that sort of exists, and you can start applying it and pushing it and don't take second best. This is what it's sort of saying. You don't deserve second best, Pisces. You deserve the best, and if you do it, you will get it. That's what it's sort of saying here. These are not pipe dreams. pigs will fly if you so wish them to fly. I think this is what it's the overall energy that's going through. Let's just see what's going through on the relationship side. This is feeding off that. It's now time to start applying in the world around you, within your relationships, and this could be family, friends, couples, communities, how you, the ideals or the utopian ideals that you might have, you should try and imply them and implement them within your relationships around you, because it's going to be a bit of a let's suck it and see sort of scenario. Let's see how it comes out. And this is what this card here, or this karmic path here, the karmic path this week is to just say, try it, see it. Some things will work, some things won't work, but just chuck them out there, see how it happens. And I think this is what this whole new path here, this whole new realization or attitude that you can have towards your relationships. Let's see how the universe is trying to influence your karmic path. This is steady as well. I think it comes more from the outside than from within you, but it's almost as if like the universe is protecting you, as if like, you want to try this out? Okay, I'll give you a bit of space. I'll make sure you got a bit of space in order to do that. But it's from within your own desires and according to relationships. So you might want to sort of say to your family, oh, I'm going to do a family barbecue this weekend, come round. It may be instigated by you, and it will give you that space. The universe will create situations where only certain people can come and other people can't come, but then that's absolutely fine, because that's exactly the people that should be there. And it's also going to simplify things where, people are going to say, well, look, can I bring in a potato salad? Or and those sort of scenarios where you don't actually have to do a lot of the work. It's just like the outside world is really trying to help you, taking a weight off your shoulders. That's what it's all about. So as you try it out, that's what I'm talking about, that space thing. That's what it's saying there. Take that weight off your shoulders. And I think the universe is going to do that for you. Let's see how it's going on with your guides here and how they're influencing your karmic path. And this is all the little coincidences that are around you as you go through life. You're setting up the criteria. When you try things out, you're trying it out for a reason, to see the reaction. That's the whole idea. And with those reactions, you can then sort of realize what or how you want the relationships to go forward in the future. And here is your guys are actually putting up the walls or the rules and regulations of how you actually, it seems a lot about rules and regulations this week, actually, funnily enough. And that could be tying into that whole sort of Saturn thing of, of taking a good hard look at ourselves. And so your guides here are really sort of kind of saying, no, sorry, that doesn't work, this works. So the coincidences for you this week will probably be a case of kind of going, oh, that was a lot easier than I thought. And suddenly all the things started happening around me. So I got through the checkout really easy. And then that means I had the time in order to do the souffle for the family get together. And then other things you kind of go, yeah, but you know what? I couldn't get the potatoes. I can't do the potato salad. And then that's when someone else called up and said, I'll get the potato salads. So it's going to be obvious what is going to work and what's not going to work. So things are definitely, it's an exchange of coming in from what's coming in from the outside world here. But it's almost with you trying things, it's put up that criteria for how you have the relationships. And that's going to pull, that's usually a Three of Wands is about going on a journey, but I think that's pulling it in. And that's part of the journey. It's that journey is not necessarily going anywhere. Normally it's a harbour master, so it could be welcoming in boats from the outside. And I think that's more of a case. If you do a call, if you call your partner and you say, look, I'd like to go and visit this place this weekend. Your partner say, great, I was thinking about it. I'd like to book this hotel. And you're kind of going, great, it's exactly the sort of hotel. So it's bringing in, allowing people coming into your world, basically. That's what your guides are trying to do, to help you on your karmic path to see what works for you. Okay? Let's just see what's going on in that conversation that is within your subconscious, this is where it picks up. It picks up off of this card here, but it also picks up on wishing for the best out of the situation, and it's gonna within your conversation within you, it's going to apply those applications. You can have an application on the world around you, so the people that are around you have to step up as well. It's asking the world around you to step up as well, on not only on your side but on their side as well, to make sure that they are, playing the game and responding to what you're investing into it. Ace of Swords, so it's victories. It is about sort of kind of going, I've put this out there, this is the relationship, I've dealt with this meal, I've got this meal together and everything like that, and it's going to go absolutely brilliant because you want it to go brilliantly, and it's going to make other people kind of go, in that case, I want it to go brilliantly. And this is how it's going to create victories for you. It's going to make you feel very satisfied within your relationships. Let's see what's going on with the financial world. So this is the karmic path for your money side, your business, your jobs, etc. You had the Page of Wands in that position this last week, and that may have been that enthusiastic side. This side here is very much more sort of kind of going, in your job or your business, it's sort of saying, this is what I do. Don't ask me as a chef or as an art or publicity person. Let's say you do publicity or media, or you're connected with those sort of things. There's no point asking someone who does sort of those sort of jobs to go and be a bricklayer. It's just like, it's not going to happen. And it's like, it's really being clear with what you want out of life. If you're clear of what you want and how you can do it, and play to your best side, it's going to make you almost like a beacon for other things around you. So it's not that it's pulling things in, but it's almost shining a light to say, I am here. Let's see how the universe is guiding your path here. It's asking you to rise to the challenge. That's what it's saying. Saying, as the universe invests in your path on a gradual and perpetual sort of sensation, each time it invests, you've got to raise your game. And it invests a little bit more, and each time you've got to raise your game. And that's what it's sort of saying here. So Knight of Wands, really lovely path, because you had the Five of Wands last week in that position here, and the Knight of Wands here is all about that rhythmical fashion of that invest. And if you know what you want, know your true value, and you stick to it, you will be beating that drum and shining that light, and you will be bringing in a lot of opportunities for you by the looks of things, Pisces. Let's see how your guides are trying to influence your karmic path. They're doing the same sort of thing here, but they're sort of building up a vibration that is forcing the world to go around it. So basically, if you've got into a job, you know what you can do, and your business or the company that you're working for giving you stuff that's a little bit remedial. You're kind of saying, I could do better than this, and you can sort of saying, look, if you're going to give me stuff that's not up to my level, then it's going to become very boring for me, and it's going to force the world around you to actually position themselves in order to get the best out of you and for their company to get the best out of them. If you're in a business sort of side of things, it's more a case of sort of saying, no, this is stick by your values of your business because it will be your strength in your coming future. Okay? The devil, he's been figuring quite a lot more than he usually does at the moment. Capricorn card, but he is giving those opportunities of sort of saying he's shining a light on the greater possibilities, and he's offering possibilities, which can be like, what would you call it? Temptations to lead you off your path. The devil doesn't actually lead you off your path. Only we go off our own path. And this is what it's sort of saying here. I think it might also be for some of you sort of saying, do not get tempted into, remember your force of what you like and who you are and what you're really good at. Because don't get led off if you're doing media or publicity, don't suddenly start wandering off and kind of go, do you know what, I think I'll be a bricklayer. You could well do that, of course, but I think it's being true to yourself. I think that's what your guides are helping you here do. They're sort of, they're really putting in that criteria of giving you that self-worth. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence that, the overall conversation that is within you in regards to money and business, etc. Okay, so if you imagine, I should do some fishing when I was a young man. I wasn't major fishing, but it's because I grew up in London. But if you imagine you put on a type of line, so if you've got a very thin line, you're only gonna be able to catch small fish, because otherwise the big fish will break the line. And it's almost as if your guides are sort of saying to you, we haven't put a big enough line on this, thick enough line, and things that are coming in from the outside there, your guide is almost sort of saying, we need to really up our expectations out of life. That's what they're sort of saying. The the Page of Pentacles, which flows on nicely from last week, from the Ace of Pentacles. And certainly, you had the Two of Swords in that position here. But I think a lot of things are coming in for you that there's a potential for very long-term sort of plans. It's really, building up really nicely of a real potential within you, a potential in the world. And as I say, this week here seems to be a pivotal week for a lot of people. And I went into it in Cymatic TV, which you'll find in the descriptions below, about the messages coming from the earth and the chakra sequence as well, which was really important. And that seems to be flowing through in the cards this week. Let's see what's going on with the outcome and the progression into next week. It's almost saying that if I went out shopping and I took a tiny little bag that's no bigger than that, I'm not going to be able to get much stuff in it. And it's like as if like this card here is almost sort of saying there's a lot of stuff out there and you probably need to take a lot of it. It's time for you to reap the rewards of the work you've done in the past. And I've seen in your cards, you've done the work. I was really impressed with your cards during January, February, March and April. Really, really good for you. There was a complicated point in May, and I think that's still sort of playing on you a little bit, making you a little bit more skeptical, a little bit more sort of reserved. But here is the case of kind of going, you're in front of the tree that is full of apples, and you're sort of saying, they are ripe. They are all ripe. We need to take the whole lot. Three of Swords. Now, the funny thing is, you had the Three of Swords over here where you got the Three of Wands this week. Yeah. And I think this is a case here is the overall thing is do not get emotionally attached to what you're taking for the moment. Because you may be taking things that are going to serve you. Let's say all those apples are absolutely ripe. You collect in all those apples. Some of those apples, yeah, you're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to sell some of the apples. Some of the apples you're going to have to turn into juice. Some of them you might even want to turn into compote, yeah, into puree, apple stew, I think what you might call it. So don't start getting in a position sort of saying, oh, I can't do that because of this and that and the other. Don't put doubt in your life. This is not a time for that. It's strange because actually Taurus had a similar sort of thing, and they're on that sort of position around you. That's around that sort of Aries sort of thing going on. But here I think it's more of a case of don't get attached to everything that is the possibilities of the world around you, and don't block out the world around you. More let the world come in. As I say, I think you had a difficult thing in May. It was difficult for you emotionally, I think, in May, coming through to the beginning of, maybe the beginning of June, but mainly in May. And I think here is sort of kind of going, do not allow that to affect your bright and joyous aspect that you can have, Cancer, going forward. Okay? So yeah, go and check out that Cymatic TV and see what the energy update said on that, because that'll help you to understand that transitional thing, because you're really going through it, Pisces. There is huge possibilities for you, and it's only you who seems to be putting the limitations upon it. Okay? In the meantime, Pisces, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.